and welcome back to the Bannertown USA YouTube channel. I'm Jack. I'm here with two new faces on the channel. I'm here with Hayden and Joe. So we got Hayden Pike, right? Say what's up, Hayden.
What up?
What's up? And then we got Joe. Is it Capinos? Am I saying that right?
You know what? You haven't butchered it worse than anybody else. So it's Capinos, but you
right.
got a pretty good close one. I'll take it.
All right. I wasn't sure. I figured I'd ask, but yeah,
you're good, bro.
Today we're going to be reacting to something that we actually helped to make. Us and the other Bannertown USA writers came together and made a list of the Bannertown off-season point guard rankings, right? And so we all gave our lists. I asked these guys to give me a list of their top 15, and I compiled it into a top 10 because you can't make a top 15 if everybody only gives you 15 guys. And this is what we came up with. So we're going to react to it. We've all seen the results, but we're just going to give our thoughts and everything. So this is going into the 2021 season. So Steph Curry's in here. John Wall has the potential to be in here. And yeah, we'll start off with number one, I guess. We'll just go top to bottom. So Dame Lillard is number one. You guys have any thoughts and problems with that?
I thought that was wildly disrespectful.
Really?
I don't know.
So who?
I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Steph Curry guy in the world, but I think any answer other than him at number one is kind of is a little,
I see that. So was he number one on both your lists individually?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
He was number 3 on mine, and I'll give you my reasoning. Behind it. Obviously, his hand injury won't hurt him too much, but even in the games he played at the beginning of last season, he wasn't shooting super efficiently. And I'm not saying he's not going to come back and he'll probably be the same Steph he's always been. But after the seasons that Dame and Luka had, I didn't know if I wanted to put someone coming off an injury above him, even though obviously like you said, Hayden, it is Steph Curry, so it's hard to disrespect him that much. But that was my reasoning, sort of.
Yeah. I don't know. Even Luka, I feel like those seasons were so great and everyone freaked out about him. But even that is still I feel like several tiers lower than Steph Curry at his best, which we haven't even seen in a while because he's been playing with Durant for the regular season.
True. That's true.
That's true. I didn't even take that piece into consideration, the whole Durant thing. Now that he's gone, that's one less mouth to feed, for sure. But who is it? Who had him down at what? Jack, I'm sorry.
I had him at 3 on my list. Yeah.
Understandable, but somebody over here, who is it?
Liam?
No, I saw that shit. I was like, you're delusional. I enjoy smoking weed, but that is some next level stuff. Because 10, come on. I really couldn't. That one was the one I got upset about. that is just genuinely disrespectful.
You see,
at 3, understandable.
Yeah, no, that's my friend. I know him personally. And he sent me his list. I was like, where's Steph on this list? Did you forget to put him on? He's like, oh no, he's at 10. I'm like, why? And he was like, oh, he's
Steph Curry's better than 10 all the time. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely, that's a great point.
At first, I think he still had. I don't know. Let me look at the list real quick. I can pull up Liam's list, but he had Derrick Rose above. He had Derrick Rose above Steph Curry. So.
Trae Young just does everything worse than Steph Curry. He does everything Steph does, just considerably worse.
I would agree.
And Trae Young's just the worst defender in the league. So
he's absolutely terrible.
Also very true. All right, we'll move on to number 2. Number 2 actually ended up being Luka, and 3 is Steph. So I guess we can just talk about the top 3 in general. Do you guys have the same sentiment as at Luka at 2 as you had at Dame at 1? Do you think Steph should just be above them?
I mean, I had Kyrie at 3. That's a little bit of a pedigree thing. He was going off in his 20. He played 20 games in Brooklyn this year. But I feel like even though you trust Luka a lot, I feel like I trust Kyrie a lot more.
Weren't they better without him though? Wasn't there winning?
That's a debate too.
And that's the whole thing I did with Kyrie. Because where the hell did I have Kyrie at? I put Kyrie at number 8. The reason I had it's not a skill thing because his handles are ridiculous. When he's, I don't know, it's not even a matter of being on, but when he's on, it's a different level as well. But his whole toxic locker room attitude, he kind of, I don't know, the Celtics again, Eastern Conference Finals without him. I just didn't think there was enough to have him that high. I understand why you would, because, like I said, he's pretty dynamic, but above Luka at the same time, this dude was almost, again, averaging a triple-double second year, leading his team. He played through the ankle injury and got them the W without Porzingis. I was like, there's no way that, there was no way in my mind that Luka wasn't number 2 and he was edging Steph for number 1 for me. But then I think it was a career-wise move for Steph, and number 1 is almost there. You got to respect. So
I had Kyrie at 4 on my list. I think I have this. I ended up with the same top 4 as the actual like final list was. So I had Dame, Luka, Steph, Kyrie. Because like as much as Kyrie is amazing, maybe I'm falling into the Luka hype a little bit too. Like I'll admit, maybe that's the trap.
I don't want to be like a prisoner of the moment.
No, yeah.
Because I love Luka, but I mean, like, he's still got to work in his defense. He's got like cement feet. Like he's got pretty slow feet on defense. I mean,
he's a better defender than Kyrie.
There, but also, I just like the whole. I don't really also buy into the whole like they're better without him, whatever thing. Because remember, like 2 years ago when Philly lost Embiid for like the last month and they were like on fire. No one's like. I don't think anyone's gonna argue that they're better without Embiid. I don't know. The Warriors were better without Durant because their chemistry was a little better without Durant. Like no one's saying like you don't want Durant on your team.
No, yeah, I can see that. It's just tough. I don't know. There's also probably like a Boston bias with Kyrie. Like there's some hatred there. You gotta factor that in a little bit, but
honestly, like we're splitting. Like no one had Kyrie at like 20. Like
exactly.
It's not. Yeah, no one's saying Kyrie's like trash.
For sure.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, I don't think 8. I mean, maybe 8 was just a little biased disrespect because it was just kind of like a fuck you, bro. But, But I don't know. It seemed a little bit much to have him as high as he was. I know he won a championship and all that, but I mean, was with LeBron and Kevin Love. So I don't know how much I take that W in terms of consideration. But
I mean, Sam had him at 7, and Sam's the most biased Boston Celtics fan I've ever met in my life. It's crazy. So I can see 7 or 8 for Kyrie. But we'll move on to the next 5, I guess, unless there's something else you wanted to say about it.
No, I was just gonna say my number 5 because this is the whole crux of what we were debating last week. So I had Ben Simmons at 5.
Yeah.
And he barely made the list, which I honestly I get Steph Curry at 3 maybe, but I think honestly Ben Simmons barely making the list is probably the worst part of it.
Yeah, that's a little rough. I had him personally at 9 on my rankings, which I guess is a little low, but like the players I had above him, I don't know. Maybe it is a little disrespectful in hindsight.
Can't shoot, bro.
Yeah,
I mean
that's a big thing.
7, which I thought 7 was almost generous in some way, but he's clearly the best defender in terms of being a point guard. He is basically almost a walking triple-double for sure. But again, the fact that the dude refuses to shoot, you can leave him out on an island, and short of this year and like blowing up for the 1-3 he made, he's not gonna. You know what I mean? You don't got to worry about a shot at all.
But then why? Like several people had Westbrook over him.
I did not.
What's the argument for? Did you have?
I had Westbrook so high. I don't even know why.
He had Westbrook. He had Westbrook at 4, Joe. Yeah.
I had him at 4, but it's like again the triple doubles, man. Like he had 2 MVP triple double seasons. Like his motor is insane. He does play decent defense. Like I don't know.
I think the difference
you're not going anywhere in the playoffs.
No,
like at least with Ben, he's not going to shoot you out of the game. Russell
That's true.
Will shoot you out of several playoffs.
That's also. I mean, yeah. All right.
I don't think Westbrook does anything better than Ben Simmons.
I mean, my argument would be, well, first of all, I think he might be more. I don't want to say more athletic because obviously 6'10" point guards, that's fucking absurd. But like in terms of bounce and like raw like power on dunks, I don't know. I'm like speaking out of my ass here, but I was going to say at least Russ is willing to shoot. I like get the argument that Ben Simmons won't shoot you out of the game, but at least the threat that like Westbrook can make them. Not necessarily good at making them, but just the ability to shoot that. Like in his MVP season, I'm not saying we see an MVP Westbrook for the past 2 years because it's been
like 33%. Like
it was 35, 36, I think. It was league average. It was league average, which isn't like obviously anything special. But at least his willingness to shoot means that if he does manage to make 1 or 2, they're going to cover him, and that's going to space the floor. Meanwhile, Ben Simmons, you see guys just camping the paint because you know he's not going to shoot the ball.
Yeah, you can camp the paint on Ben Simmons though, and he'll still dunk on you.
Also,
like it doesn't even matter in some points.
A valid argument, yeah.
I won the MVP. What year did he win the MVP?
17, 18, I think, and then
That was 16, 17.
All right, yeah.
Shut. I mean, he's a career 30% 3-point shooter on 4 games. That's pretty bad.
Not great. No, it's not great. I
He's
had
made more than
Westbrook-
one.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
He's made more than one.
I had Westbrook below Simmons on my list. I had Westbrook at 10. I had Simmons at 9. And then I had above him. Oh God. Well, my number 5. We can go on to number 5. My number 5 was Chris Paul, and I think that was the most consistent pick for middle of top 10.
I had him at 6. Yeah.
Yeah, and Hayden had him at 6 too. So.
I always like felt like I was on this like weird pedestal, like screaming at people like Chris Paul is so underrated because everyone's like, oh, he chokes in the playoffs because he gets injured or his teammates get injured. Like, I don't think you can point to a single playoff series where Chris Paul himself is the reason they lost.
Except if you talk about he got hurt in the Rocket series, but that's obviously it's not his fault, obviously. But
or Blake got hurt.
Yeah,
or something. Like,
exactly.
I feel like he's one. I've seen videos, their stats that he's like one of the most clutch players in the league, and obviously all of his intangible leadership stuff.
And I think this year showed that to people. I think before the season, everyone was like, "Oh, that Chris Paul, they got off the contract. That's awesome for the Rockets." But Chris Paul's better than Westbrook, so that was a terrible trade by the Rockets, in my opinion. And I don't know, the Rockets. This is a different topic for another day, but I think the Rockets are about to rebuild that shit. That's not going to work. Harden and Westbrook, like.
I bet trade Harden. I don't like.
Harden's good.
Trade Harden or trade Westbrook?
Both. I say trade both.
Yeah,
I say trade them both.
So then who do you have? You got literally that's
start
just
over.
Just blow it.
Yeah. I say blow it. Get it gone. I've seen I want them to trade Harden to get. I've seen a rumor everywhere saying Harden for Ben Simmons and switch them.
They're not. I would.
I don't think so either. I'm just saying that's one of the.
No way. Yeah.
I mean, so the thing for me is like, you're not like it's not going anymore. So what the hell is the point of just like running into the wall every year? Like,
I don't know.
Like you had your chance in 18.
Yeah.
And you blew it.
They shot what? They didn't make a 3 till like the fourth quarter or some shit.
It was the game they missed 24 straight or something.
Yeah, that was a mess. That was an absolute.
Like that was your year and you blew it. So.
Yeah, and then 6 is Russell Westbrook. So he was he was kind of all over the place. Liam and you, Joe, had him at 4. I had him at 10. Tim had him at 10. Hayden, you had him at 7. Yeah. He's late top 10, I would say. And then we have Murray and Kemba Walker tied at 7. I was very iffy on Kemba Walker. I feel like he could have been placed higher, but I don't know.
I had Kyle Lowry above both. Kyle Lowry on the list is insane.
Facts. That's what I'm saying.
I just forgot about it when I sent in my list, but then I had him at.
I think I had him at 8.
I had him at 8, and then I moved Kevin to 9.
I had Lowry at 6 on my list, so.
I definitely had him in like the top. I think he was in like number 12 on mine or whatever. But I don't know for whatever reason. I really don't know why I put all these other. I mean, Jamal Murray. I think I might have gotten a little bit biased based off of his playoff performance this year because he was next. He was next level. Like he was top 2, playing top 2 in the bubble. Like he was just on a freak level, and he's gotten better every year to the point where it's like I don't think that this was like a fluke type deal, which is why I probably had him as high as I did. But yeah, I honestly think that he might have, Lowry definitely got a little bit of disrespect.
Yeah, I mean, the issue with Lowry is 2 people left him off their list. I think Sam has an internal hatred for Kyle Lowry. I don't know if you guys know this. We talked about it.
Because he busted her ass. Like,
exactly. Hey, I told you, Sam's the most biased Celtics fan I've met in my life.
That's why he hates LeBron.
Yep.
LeBron's been busting the Celtics' ass for like a decade. Like I don't.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He talks about that constantly. I think, I think Liam.
I felt bad leaving De'Aaron Fox out of my top. I had him at 11.
Yeah, that was close for me too. I had Fox at, I don't know. He's good. He hasn't proved anything yet. Like he can put up the stats, and I think he has all the potential because he can play defense. He has the athleticism. He reminds me of a Russell Westbrook, but shoots better, kind of, and faster.
He's more like John Wall.
Yeah, that's a better comparison. I like that better.
He's not as like. I think he's more of like a thinker on the court than Westbrook is.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would agree. I had him at 13. I had him at.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I just couldn't put him over everybody above him aside from Trae Young, who I could see I could see the argument for Trae Young like worse than De'Aaron Fox, But Trae Young started the All-Star game. Like, I don't know, it's hard at that point. And everyone above him has made the playoffs and has been one of the better players on a team that's made the playoffs. So that was my reasoning behind that. And then 9 and 10, who was 9 on the list? It was Trae Young and Ben Simmons. Yeah, Trae Young and Ben Simmons. I don't think that's bad rounding out the top 10. I could see the argument.
I had Trae at 10 anyway, so.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can't ignore, what was it, like 28 points a game?
Yeah,
But,
and
like,
10 assists. So.
Like, he couldn't stop a light breeze from getting to the basket. Like,
yeah.
and
It's
it's,
not
I
great.
mean, his effort is, like, fine, I guess, but, like, what does he weigh? Like, I probably weigh more than him. He probably weighs, like,
If
100.
he's over 170, I'd be surprised, yeah.
And, like, honestly, like, his shooting efficiency isn't even amazing. It's like 36% on 9.5. That's like crazy volume, but I mean, I don't know. 40,
It's not
that's still
elite.
40,
Yeah.
43% from the field. It's not elite.
And I have to imagine that'll improve as the years go on, because I bet if you look at Steph Curry's numbers, I'm not saying like they're equal players or anything, obviously, but if Steph Curry early on in his career when he was the only one taking the shots, like before he had Clay and everybody, like he probably got focused on a lot too, because who else you're gonna guard John Collins, then what? You're gonna guard Kevin Herter, like who are they gonna cover?
Like,
Yeah. No, yeah.
Also, I mean, Steph Curry did have Mark Jackson as his coach.
What'd you say? Say
Mark
that again.
Jackson. Steph Curry did have head-ass Mark Jackson as his coach at first.
Yeah.
Like the worst offense, which is weird because Mark Jackson is like what, third all-time assists, and he's like the worst offensive coach ever.
Yeah.
I mean, he pretty much did build that team, though, right? Didn't he draft? He was the one who drafted Clay, Steph,
Wait,
and Draymond, right? Well, he was a part of the. Yeah,
Mhm.
but obviously, I'm assuming his input mattered in some way there, but.
So interesting enough, I'm looking at the list. Both of your guys' list, I think you guys were actually the only two people on this list. Every single guy that you had in your top 10 ended up making the top 10.
That's
right?
weird.
Is that right? Am I looking at that right? Or wait, no, because one of you guys said you had
Wild Lowry.
Lowry. Yeah, okay. I
Yeah,
think-
I had Lowry just outside at 11.
I must have forgot to update the numbers on the picture. But
I was surprised people didn't have Morant higher. I thought some people were gonna sneak him in there.
I did. I actually did. Morant was, I believe. Gosh, where did I put him? I think
Where'd you have him, like?
I had him at
I'm
14.
I'm at 8. Yeah, I had him at 8. 8.
I had him at
As a rookie, really? 8?
I had him
Yeah,
at 13.
I had him at 8. I don't know
Well,
his defense.
I'm fucking around putting Zion Williamson top 20 player in the league. So
Wow, that's a good. Do you
Um,
think Zion should have won Rookie of the Year?
No.
yeah, I don't. I mean, for like the impact that Ja had on them
Yeah.
in the play-in game and all that, yeah. But like, I don't give a shit about the games played.
All right.
It's like I can see how good Zion is. The only problem is he's just like fat, so his defense is whatever. But
That's the thing,
like-
how do you not take that into consideration games played though? Because it's just like, I don't know, that gives him the option of like dropping off a little bit. Not saying he would have, because I think he's a freak and
Yeah.
he's gonna if he
I
had
don't-
played at all, like what he played like 20, 23, 20 something. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's just not enough to really say that for the entire year, especially with Ja. Basically, short of the bubble, like the Grizz are going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know
also,
what I mean?
don't
And
know,
what's
like, the thing with like, I feel like you don't need more games to see if Zion. Like
yeah.
you just know he's gonna, like, you see LeBron, like rookie LeBron, or even like high school LeBron. Like it's like he's gonna win. Like,
I think Rookie of the Year is less of an argument of who's the better player and who had the better season. I think at that point.
Yeah.
also, like, no one cares about rookie of the year.
Yeah.
after
No.
the-
No one gives.
No one. Imagine like bringing up when someone's like, you're like debating between two players, and you're like, well, this guy had rookie of the year and this guy didn't, so he's better.
big accolades? Yeah.
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 no,
I mean,
it's-
like, because a lot of I've heard the argument a lot that Melo deserves rookie of the year over overall.
Mhm. But
I mean,
it's LeBron.
Look at the
so-
stat.
All right. So, lastly on the list, there were some what I quoted as others receiving votes, or I wrote out as that. And so these would have been the next players. So this would have been the equivalent of like 11, 12, 13, right? So Ja would have been at 11, and Ja and De'Aaron would have been tied for 11, right? Kyle Lowry would have been 12, or 13, I guess at that point, which is crazy low for Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
I think. Next was 14 would have been D'Angelo Russell, D'Lo. 15, John Wall. Then Brogdon, Bledsoe, Dinwiddie, Rose, DeJounte Murray,
Dinwiddie,
Lonzo Ball.
That's so low for Spencer Dinwiddie.
You think he should be higher up?
So low. There's no way John Wall shouldn't be in your top 45.
Really? That's a
An
difference.
Achilles tear and an ACL tear. Dude hasn't played in like 2.5 years.
I had him at 15.
Dude, he just put out a hoop video playing like gym basketball with a bunch of random people. Like, he was killing it against the gym league, man. What are you talking about? He's back all day.
You know, it's Hoodie Melo syndrome.
Hoodie Melo.
That's what it is.
That's true. I love
His
Hoodie
whole
Melo.
game is athleticism. You
Yeah.
think John Wall can play 70 games and drag them to the play, especially since he's not going to be the primary ball handler anymore. You're going to take the ball out of Bradley
Beal,
Beal's hands and just average 30 a game.
Yeah,
Like,
that's tough.
True.
I mean, I think I'm looking at, like, obviously you guys all sent me the list. I compiled that, put it up. The most ridiculous lists, I would say, like things that I saw. Steph Curry at 10 on Liam's list was
Insane.
definitely questionable. Sam having DeJounte Murray and Lonzo Ball on his list. It's a little interesting.
wait. In his top 15.
In his top 15, yeah.
Where was Lonzo at?
Lonzo was 14, DeJounte Murray was 13, and I like both of those players. I just don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Still, yeah.
I don't think that's insane. Like I would probably put, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'd probably put Lonzo. I'd rather have Lonzo than Eric Bledsoe. I'd rather have DeJounte Murray than Eric Bledsoe.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Like,
That's fair.
Yeah.
He left
I don't-
off Kyle Lowry, I think is notable. So maybe
I
not.
don't want to sound. I sound like such a like high school basketball coach, but like I feel like so many people in the rankings just didn't take into account like whether someone like how good someone's defense is.
Mhm.
Obviously, defense isn't as important as offense. That's why Tony Allen's not going to make Hall of Fame. But I mean,
That's a good quote.
Trae Young,
Ouch.
like,
Ouch.
yeah. I mean, like who like Trae Young's better than Tony Allen, but I mean, Ben Simmons is the best defender in the league, I think.
That's a
Like-
debate. That's a good debate. Best perimeter defender. I guess interior defender too. He's 6'10".
I take him over Rudy Gobert. You can't play Rudy Gobert in the playoffs. He gets played off the floor. That's why I'm like,
True.
don't bring him to the Celtics.
Yeah, that's a rumor recently, but I think you can make an argument. I think Davis, Giannis, and Ben Simmons are definitely top
Yeah.
three, and you could. I wouldn't mind any of them at one. Personally, I'd take Giannis, maybe Davis, but I'm a big guy that says like I don't think stats mean everything, and I'm not saying like 2.1 steals a game. That's obviously ridiculous, right? That Ben Simmons averaged
Yeah.
that. But I'm saying also at the same time, I can't count Hassan Whiteside's 2.7 blocks and say he's the best defensive center in the league. Like that's
also, like,
ridiculous.
Like you're not gonna put like AD on like a point guard, but like I legitimately like struggle to think about who Ben Simmons could guard.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Ben Simmons could guard Steph Curry?
I don't think so.
I think he could bother. No one can guard Steph.
Yeah,
Curry.
that's the best debate.
Unless you're game 7.
Game 7, Van Vliet.
I don't think anyone can guard.
Yeah.
Steph. Nah, game 7, Kevin Love.
Oh,
Locked
Kevin
up
Love.
Steph Curry on that game.
Game 7. What am I saying? The Raptors 1 and 6, not 7. But yeah. Outside of that, I'm trying to look at some other interesting things you guys might think is a little out of whack. Everybody's top 5 was pretty similar. I would say it was like Lillard, Curry, Luka, CP3. Jamal Murray was high on some guys' list. Like I saw him as high as 5.
That's me. Yeah.
That was
Again.
I mean, no, it's on Tim too. Tim had Jamal Murray at 5 as well. So
I think we just fell in love with the playoffs. you
yeah,
know?
bubble bias. But I mean, Jamal Murray's
Whoa.
good.
Like before the playoffs. Like for his career, he's just like to me, it's just been like a whole bunch of nothing.
Mhm.
Honestly,
That's a
Like-
valid argument. It's probably some bubble bias. I don't know. I see the potential there.
yeah. Like obviously, I think he's gonna be not an all-star, but next year. But I think he'll be take a massive jump next year. So I think he's good, but I don't think he's warrants
Mhm.
close to the top 5.
Yeah. If I had to switch around my list, the biggest things I'd probably honestly looking at the Banner Town list. If I personally could change it, like just myself, I would flip Simmons and Westbrook. That's what I would do, and then I think the list would be good.
Understandable. Yeah.
But and
Yeah.
and then I think the list would be solid. But yeah. Is there anything else you guys
Who do you-
thought of? Go ahead. Yeah.
Who do you think could either jump into the top 10 or fall out of the top 10 next year?
I think. Well, he was in my top 10, but I think John Morant, by the time next year's over, will definitely be in the top 10 when we
Sure.
when and if we do this again. De'Aaron Fox, another good candidate.
Who do you see falling out?
Westbrook.
Yeah.
Probably Westbrook. Maybe Chris Paul. Depending on the role he has next year, because we don't know if he's going to be in Oklahoma. And I think a big part of him being in the All-Star game, being on this list, is because he was the leader there. If he goes to the Lakers, the Bucks, he's not going to be the leader on either of those teams, so he might fall out. But yeah, what do you think?
What do you think about the Clippers, though? I heard potentially a little CP back in Lob City with no Lob City.
God, I don't know. That'd be weird.
I mean, if you go,
Clippers have negative assets, so I don't see it happening.
That's also very true. Yeah, they would be betting everything on 1 year.
So for a little preview, what do you think your most controversial position rankings will be, if it wasn't already point guard?
We also did shooting guards. We were going to react to that in a separate video. I don't think my shooting guards were too controversial. I feel like the small forward position has all the potential to be controversial because of how talented it is. So I think that's a big one. I think center rankings is going to be the most controversial for me. I think that's where we're going to split hairs the most. Because
that's going to be a wild one, I think.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Because
I can't even have a lot of variety.
I can't even think of more than 5 centers right now.
Because I mean,
there's such a massive. I think there's a top 3. And then there's such a massive drop off where it's all right.
I would argue there's a top 5 and then a massive drop off if I'm thinking of them right. Yeah, I mean my top 5 I could tell you. I don't know what order this will be in. But my top 5 I think, and correct me if I'm forgetting anybody, but Embiid, Jokic, Bam, Rudy, Cat. I think that would probably.
Rudy's not. I don't think you put Rudy or Bam in there.
See, I'm gonna put them. They'll probably both end up in my top 5 because who's better? What center would you put above them?
I think they're top 5, but I think Embiid, Jokic, and Cat are on another tier.
I would argue.
And then I feel like Bam might get there, but I mean I don't think he's there yet.
Yeah.
Consistently taking over games like those 3 do. That's why Jokic vaulted so much for me, is because you saw him consistently control the game, where you could, in years past, you kind of faded into the game a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Bam took over almost every Celtics game inside, literally almost every one of them. And to be honest, until he ran into multiple 7-footers against LA, that he's just more athletic. I think he's the most athletic big man that there is, because Jokic is stiff. He doesn't need to move, so he's weird like that. Same with Embiid. I mean, he can move and shift, but Bam is clearly the most athletic center. So I don't know how he's not in the top 5.
You're sleeping on the best center in the league, Miles Turner. I mean, ooh, that boy Miles Turner, man.
I do like Miles Turner. I feel like all of the top.
I think Miles Turner is trash.
Oh really? Do you really?
Trash.
Wow.
I think Miles Turner is not a center you trade for.
Oh man, that's a debate.
I don't want him, but I wouldn't say he's trash.
Yeah. I wrote an article about that today. So.
I don't think he is.
But yeah, anything else on the topic of point guards you guys can think of before we wrap up the video?
I take back my Russell spot.
Yeah.
that was you know what, I've always loved his motor. I've always appreciated his intensity, and especially after KD left and all that shit, put everything on his back. Two back-to-back triple-double seasons. I'm just obviously. It threw stats aside, and it was just I love him as a player. Yeah. Probably more so 3 years ago than now. I think that's why he cracked my top 4 going into that. That was a longevity pick rather than a white.
I got you. Hayden?
A lot of my rankings were probably valued on a lot of what your overall game and your impact in the playoffs. That's why I had Simmons so high. Because he can't shoot, but I mean, he's probably top 5 in the league at everything else. Irving so high because of his playoff resume. Westbrook lower because of his playoff resume. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. If I had to take it back, I'd probably put Simmons a little higher. I didn't have him above Westbrook, so I stand by that. I'm pissed Lowry didn't make the top 10. I'm not saying I love Lowry, but I feel like that's disrespectful. I don't know. I think overall it's a solid list. I think the top 3 Lillard, Luka, Curry, or top 4 even with Kyrie. I think that's solid. You can mix them up, and I wouldn't complain if you had any of them on one, except for maybe Kyrie, because I don't like Kyrie. But yeah, we're about to wrap this up. Anything you guys want to say? Like, Joe, I'll let you go first before we wrap it up here.
No, I think this was a good idea. I think the reaction video is going to be fun. It'd be cool if we had a couple of the other guys coming on next time. Hopefully they'll have a little bit of free time.
Mm-hmm.
But no, very much looking forward to the list. I think small 4 is going to be very interesting. And yeah, let's just keep this shit going.
Oh yeah, Hayden.
So to Bannertown.
Facts.
Read the articles. Retweet. All like. I'll start.
Didn't get any of that.
What'd you say? Yeah, you cut out a little. If you want to say it again,
Didn't hear any of it.
I can edit it. I can edit it.
Bannertown.
Yeah. You can say that again if you want. You froze again. You froze again.
Retweet the articles.
You froze again. Hayden,
Don't worry.
you froze again.
Damn, that's tough.
All right, I'll let you go again.
So to Bannertown. Read the articles, retweet, and
Yo, I fucking love it, bro. That's so funny. The same spot every time.
Yeah. It's fine.
just don't even cut it. Just don't even cut that out. Just don't even cut it out.
All right, I'll leave it. I'll leave it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a high quality book.
As Hayden said multiple times, sub to Bannertown. Follow Bannertown on Twitter. Really appreciate all the support we're getting. We're doing top 10 lists for every position. Shooting guard is out now too, so if you want to go read that, go to bannertownusa.com. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and peace out.